This is the Redallover show with me, Andy Simcox, Tracy Martin. Have a wave, Tracy. Craig Wood, Woody Wood. Little wave, Craig. Oh, woo. Easy, easy. And last but certainly not least, Team Pudfat, the old git of the show, but there you go. So, in this particular show, without Josh Atherton, who's too busy to be bothered, he can do his radio show, but he ain't got time to do this as well. So, in his absence, I'm hosting it, and we're going to preview the preview show against Luton Town. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the players that have played for both clubs since 2000. We're going to get a few stats from Woody, hopefully. Then we'll do predictions. But Dean's also going to talk about a game that he went to on Monday night. So that'll be thrilling for us all to know. So while we do everything else first, Dino, gear yourself up. Although I have to say, Tracy, I'm a little bit worried that it's 2 days ago and at his age, he might not remember. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see. So let's get into it. Here we are. Didn't have a game last week. Luton did. They drew 0-0 at home to Rotherham with 69% possession. 69%, that's a lot of possession. So not many long balls in that, I wouldn't have thought, Craig, but they know Bradford, that's for sure. So are we seeing this, Craig?
Are we seeing this? They've well, they've just got Jack Wilshere in as manager, and they seem to have been playing a lot better under him. I think it's what is it, 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw under him so far. That's just in league. He's
Yeah.
won a couple of cup games too, but you don't really count them. And they seem to be playing well under him, to be quite honest. They didn't have the greatest start to the season, but they seem to be coming on strong now. They've obviously overtook us, which isn't really hard. Top goal scorer, I think, is Jordan Clark, and the most productive player is George Saville, which in this league is a joke that he's in this league. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He's had 4 goal contributions this season, and he's really the heartbeat of their team. Jack Wilshere's playing the formation either 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whichever one you want to put it. And they're 8th in the league. So, they're roaring towards them playoffs. I think they've got the second best away record in the league, and we've got the 19th home record in the league. So that doesn't bode very well for us. And obviously, something I'm delighted to see is Mads Admison and Jacob Brown coming back to Oakwell. So, because he's just returned from his injury as well. So, I mean, he played. I think he was a sub in last game.
Yeah.
Or
He was sub against Rotherham.
But I'm expecting him to start, and I don't want to hear no boos towards him neither, because I can't stand that when they just boo anybody. Neither on them. Neither on them, definitely.
Well, I'd be amazed. I mean, right at the start of his career, well, Mad's got enough boos from his own fans then. So he won everybody over, though, didn't he, Tracy? I think that's fair to say.
He certainly did. He was great. And the way he left, that video, I'll never forget that video he made when he sat in the dugout and basically cried to say how difficult it was to leave and how he'd felt about being booed early on and changing people's minds. So, yeah, I think I'm with Craig. I wouldn't expect... I don't like it anyway when players generally get booed who've left under good circumstances. Both of them did. Jacob obviously went to Stoke, I think, did he? He didn't go there, did he? He went to Stoke, and Mads obviously went there and scored in the Premier League, which were wonderful. And everything, as a fan, that's what you want. You want your players to go on and do better things, and he did. As it happens, he's back now playing at Oakwell. But no, he were great, and I think he developed fantastically at our club, and I'm really pleased to see him back. I'm glad he's back playing because he's had a lot of injuries since he's been there, so I'm really glad he's back. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really tough test. We're playing them. They're certainly on the up. Who knows where we are? Because obviously Doncaster away, our last real competitive game. I know we've played Lincoln, but we're just not going to bother talking about that. So yeah, Doncaster away in the league, decent performance, decent result, well, very good result. and then we have another international break, and who knows? Who knows? I think it's going to be a really tough test.
Fortunately, it's the only international break before the end of the season, I think. So hopefully, or for many months at the very least. So
March.
Till March.
March.
or March, yeah. So hopefully we might well catch up a few games, but it's crippled us in my view. You know, I mean, you're right. Luton's gone above us. They're 2 points above us, but we've got 2 games in hand, and it's just we've got three games in hand for some teams. Yeah, so it's difficult, isn't it? Because you can say, oh, it's a false position, but if points are on the board, that's different to having games in hand, because you've got to win those games in hand, and when everybody else is getting a bit of a break, you're playing extra games, so it makes it a little bit tricky. I think that our third player there, Jordan Clark, has been injured with a calf injury in this.
Yeah. He's I think he's going to make the bench. I think.
I'm going to say it's certainly unlikely that he's going to start, which is be a good thing, because my recollection, he scored a late, if not injury time winner against us at Oakwell. So for Luton, so that's stay where you are and get better soon, Jordan. What I were amazed about is 32. I thought I thought he was still about 24. But yeah, it's been such a long time. Such a long time.
Good player. I know Jordan, so I'm a bit gutted he's not playing, but also quite pleased because he always does well against us, and he's again done really well for himself there. And
did you come across his dad?
He was my coach. Yeah, he was my coach.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I've had a chat with him today actually, just to see how Jordan was and to find out whether or not he'd. And I can't leak anything, but yeah, he's not starting. So
I think his nickname's Ticker, isn't it?
Clicker.
That's it. Clicker. Sorry, Clicker.
Do we know why? Any idea why?
Clicker Clark. Don't know.
Clicker Clark. Yeah, I don't know.
I would have liked to have seen Jordan, but hopefully he'll make the bench. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. He's had a great career.
And had to work really hard for it because it didn't pan out the way he would have hoped. So.
Well, he could have left us, couldn't he? And gone to, I think, Manchester City. Yeah. Didn't it? Yeah. And he was in the same team as John Stones.
That's right. Yeah.
Danny Rose, Ruben, Noble Lazarus. Yeah, they had a good team. I remember I think they beat Tottenham in the FA Youth Cup, if I remember rightly, and then ended up losing at Chelsea in quarterfinals or something. Good side.
And of course, still on the books, although he's no longer playing for them at this moment, they've got Corley Woodrow as well. He's out on loan at Wycombe, but he's still on Luton's books. So, but he'll not be playing on Saturday because he'll be playing for Wycombe instead. So that'll be helpful. So
well, score against us then.
They've got Naki Wells, so they've got an aging striker. You know, not many people have got aging strikers, have they? But they have 35. So we haven't, have we? I can't remember if we have, but anyway. Dean, how do you see this game panning out?
Well, I think it's going to be tough. I mean, I think Jack Wilshere coming as the new coach, I think he's changed the way they play a little bit. I think they look a bit more possession based and less. I mean, I saw them in a couple of games right at the beginning of the season, and they were looking to transition really quickly. But I think he's changed it a little bit, and I'm not surprised because I mean he was a possession-based footballer, so that doesn't surprise me. That'll help us in a sense that we're not dealing with a low or mid block and then getting caught on the break and conceding goals like we have been. I mean, it could help us, but we're going to have to be at it because they look like a side who have got themselves together after successive relegations. And I think you look at the squad and it's an extremely experienced squad in every position. You've Naismith, you've got Anderson, you've got Saville, as we've discussed before, up front, you've got Yates, you've got Wells. These are serious, proven players at a higher level than League One. So if Wiltshire is getting them to gel, I think it's going to be a tough one. From our point of view, as Tracy says, who knows? Anything could have happened in the last couple of weeks that we know nothing about. And, we could have players fit, we could have Philo fit, we could have Josh Earl fit, although I wouldn't personally pick him. But there you go. I don't think there'll be any major structural changes. But he'll have that dilemma that he's had all season. How does he sort his attacking players out, and who does he play, and in what positions? Because as Craig has said before, DKD's played about 4 different positions so far this season, and still managed to get 10 goals, I think is in total. Is it 10 or 11, Craig? Can't remember.
11, I think.
11, is it? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's kind of an unknown element from our perspective, but I think last week Rotherham did quite a good job, but they only had 2 shots in the whole game, so they obviously defended pretty well
and not on target either.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that we'll come out all guns blazing after 2 weeks rest and recuperation, get amongst them, maybe hit them on the break a bit, because that tends to be our strength. If we can get people on the break, then we've got a real good chance.
You do know that I can clip this, don't you? You do know that if we lose 8-0, I can clip that you said we've got a good chance. I can keep it and save it forever. So be careful, Dean. Be careful. So, well, Craig, who do you see that we need to watch out for?
For them, everybody, every player they've got. It's going to be look. This game, I think we'll look good regardless, because we are pretty decent when it comes against teams that come on to us.
They've scored as many goals as us, you know, Craig.
Yeah, but the defence is a lot better than us.
They've only scored 80. Well, you said that. They've all...
They won Stockport 3-0 last time they were away. So
they've scored 2 more than we've scored 2 more than them. They've scored 2 less than us, and they've conceded 3 less than us. I will say they've played 2 games more, so that skews the figures a little bit. But yeah. But anyway, go on.
They've got an incredibly strong team. I think the main guy you've got to watch out for is Saville. You know, for me, I think he's by far and away their best player. I'm just glad that the I forgot what the striker's called. Is it Adebayo or something? I'm glad he's injured. You know, the main striker. In the last game, I think they were playing with Yates up top. I think Nakai Wales as well. I mean, I know he's getting older, but he's a big, strong forward. We've got to watch out for him. Obviously, we're going to be. I think Mads is a better player than what he was when he left us, so he's going to be difficult to get past. Naismith as well. I think he's been one of their star players this season. You know, consummate professional, and he's played really well. I think they've got obviously Jacob Brown. We know about him. The problem for me is I don't fear their attack. I fear our defence. You know, I know they're going to have chances. Every team that comes has chances. I just don't believe that we have the ability to stop teams. And I think that is our biggest issue. I don't think our attack is a big issue. I think if we get Cleary up on that wing on a counter-attack, I think he's going to create problems. I think Keeler Dunwee's movement in the final third is going to create problems. I just really don't believe that our defence can keep out attacks. You know, especially like if he ends up swapping it again and he's putting like bringing Josh Earl back in, you know, and the midfield keeps shuffling around and players keep moving from one side to another and putting Watson at left back. And I just think there's too much moving players about rather than letting them learn what you want in what position you want. So I am going to be predicting a loss because I think we're going to create chances. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I just don't believe that we can keep goals out. You know, as good as Cooper's been, as good as Shepherd's looked, you know, Ogbeta is up and down in his form, whether he plays well or plays horrendous. He's 1 at 2. Watson gives you a 7 out of 10 most games, but he's had lapses of concentration where people have got in behind him. You know, if his wing backs are pushed too far up, they like to play with wingers, so they could get in behind them. There's a lot of holes in our team, and I think that their team is too good not to pick them holes.
That's a very positive way of looking at it all, Craig. You've cheered me up.
Honest. I'm not here to be positive. I'm here to be honest.
I hope your Mia's sorting you out when you come off this. I hope
she's been crawling around me getting stuff, trying to not get it camera and keeps taking me attention away when I'm trying to. I'm in mid-sentence and I just see her just crawling
about.
Yeah.
Sometimes that with cats, but not a child. so she could always come on and say hello and sit instead of you and have a bit more positivity for us all. Tracy, try and be a bit positive. If you can. If you can't, you can't. But try. Cheer me up, Tracy.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, it's quite difficult to be anything. I mean, we know what I know about Luton, and Craig's just given us a good sort of insight into the quality they've got. But, you know, we've got quality, haven't we? It's just whether we perform like we can, which we've done certainly in spells for long periods of time. I don't think we've mastered a 90 minutes performance this season yet. We know Smithy's analogy of we only played for 45. I think we've maybe
29 minutes recently.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So I think we've got the good thing for me, looking at it from a completely positive. We've pretty much got everyone back. It looks like, according to what I've seen and what Connor said in various little bits of press conferences and interviews. Other than probably Jallo, I think everyone's back. I saw Georgie Gent play yesterday. Seemed to come through that unscathed. So. The good thing is, you know, you mentioned Earl Dean, and I wouldn't want him to start either, but he's great. I think he's an asset from the bench because he can play a couple of positions. So I think, you know, in terms of depth, we've sort of, you know, you look at Doncaster last game, we were reliant on Rooney playing at left back, which we know he got absolutely, you know, skinned. So hopefully we're back to as full strength as what we've got. And I think the nice thing is that we've probably got some quality coming off that bench where, you know, hopefully, well, he can't play Cleary, Vickers, Keeler Dunn, McGoldrick, Phillips, Kelly. He can't play all of them. So then
he'll try.
Well, yeah, but you know, Connell, etc. So the good thing for me is that I'm thinking, well, we should hopefully have some strength from the bench and some opportunities to change things going forwards if we need to. I have to have some disagreement with Craig in that defensively we obviously are looking susceptible. However, I think as best back four is better Watson, Shepherd and Roberts, and I think the more we get those playing together as a four consistently, the better they will become, because I think Roberts and Shepherd have already started to make us look better. But yeah, that's not to say that I don't think that we'll keep a clean sheet. I'm not going to say all season, but for the next few games, looking at who we've got to play.
What's your take, Dean?
Yeah, I mean, much the same as Craig and Tracy. A lot can depend upon, I mean, the old adage of goals can change games. And, you know, maybe if we score early, you know, we'll see how they respond to that. And whether, you know, we can then, they will have to come forward as a bit. And then we've got the players who can, you know, hit them on the break, and Kelly and Cleary and DKD, obviously. So, yeah, I'm feeling slightly more positive than Craig, but then I'm a born optimist. So I always think Barnsley will win at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't go. I don't.
I'm a born realist. So.
Yeah. A born again realist. I mean, the thing that bothers me really is that we don't seem to handle a team that has a low block and then attacks us quickly on the break. We seem to get caught out with that. But similarly, we also seem to get caught out if teams come at us, like such as York, come at us right from the kickoff and get in our faces and close us down. We don't seem to handle that very well. So we need to work out how to handle different tactics, if you like, and not formations particularly, but tactics. That teams sit back, we seem to struggle on the break. But if they don't sit back, we seem to struggle. So maybe we just struggle. I don't know. It's just
I think what we need to do is we need to work on a solid structure and not be so reactive to what other teams are doing and focus more on what we want to do. Because if we can impose ourselves on them, then they're going to struggle to play their game, And I think I think we are being too reactive. I think if we get a solid first 11, stop swapping players in and out, trying to get everybody game time. You play your best 11 as often as you possibly can. They learn relationships, they learn how to play together, they learn the system a lot faster. And I think that's the best way to be successful in this league. But you also have to have strength in depth. And I do think you have to have players that are going to have to, be up for the challenge of becoming a bench player and then becoming a first team player. The likes of Kelly and Bland and all these, they look brilliant. But I don't think you should be trying to pigeonhole them into every single match because number one, it's going to make us weaker. And number two, you want to bleed them in slowly but surely. You don't want to give them too much too early because we've seen with the likes of Jasper Moon that doesn't work. You look at professional teams, they don't just play. I mean, look at Esteval, meant to be one of the best young players in the world. Is he starting every game for Chelsea? No, he's not. He's coming on at bench. He's coming on in lower priority. He's starting lower priority games. You've got to be smart with it. And like I say, they're going to come onto us and they're going to be strong and they're going to be a lot more experienced than we've got. But like I say, we might look good in this game because we get to play on the counter. We get to counter what they're doing because, like I said, we're reactive. So having players like Cleary that are good and pacey players, it'll help us. So if we did win this game, it wouldn't surprise me because we seem to rise to the occasion. We rise to the team we're playing. If we're playing a low block against a team that's bottom of the table, we undoubtedly will play absolutely rubbish. Might get a slight win, but either way, it'll not be good because we just can't get up for them games. But games like Luton, Bolton, we'll play them every single week because the players will be up for it. And this is what Connor's got to work out. How do you get players to get up for them lower league games? And like I say, I think you've got to start by getting the structure correct in the team. And
so it wouldn't surprise you if we're going to win this game, but previous to that, you predicted already we're going to lose.
No, my brain says we should lose this game. But what I'm saying is, with history, because I don't go on what's happened in previous games. I go on what I think, putting two teams up against each other, Luton should win. And that's what my brain tells me should happen. But what I'm saying is when we tend to play better teams, we tend to play better and rise to the occasion. So it wouldn't surprise me if we come away with a draw or a win. But being logically, I think we're going to lose. Yeah.
So we're going to win, draw or lose then? Have we got
it's coming up
right?
Faces there, aren't they? You know what I mean?
So I think we're going to lose. But it would not surprise me. I'm not saying we're going to draw or win, but it would not surprise me because we tend to turn up for the big games. Like I say, I don't expect us to play on Saturday as bad as we did when we played Rotherham. I don't. But we'll see what happens.
I sincerely hope not.
It could be a terrible result if that happens.
Absolutely.
It could be. So you're not looking forward to it, Craig, or are you?
Of course I'm looking forward to it. Football's football. Enjoy football.
And you said earlier, in this little soliloquy that you've done, that Connor needs to pick his best side and stick to it. And do you think he knows what his best side is? Because I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure what his best side is or what our best side is. I'm not sure what it is. There's some imponderables for me. There's some alternatives depending on who's playing well and who's not playing well, who's very fit and who's struggling a little bit with fitness or with with form. Lots of
I think he's got about 14 players. I think they're his best players. But the midfield is the biggest conundrum. I think I think he likes Keeler Dunn up top, and I think he likes Imam McGoldrick to rotate between left wing or striker. If Cleary's not playing, them front four places, he needs to settle them down because his minute is rotating way too much with them specific four players. The right wing, the left wing, the guy who plays behind the striker, and the striker. He keeps switching and swapping them, and they're not getting no consistency in performance or anything. Keeler Dunn's doing well, scoring his goals because he's a good finisher, not because the system's affording him opportunities. So like I say, it's all done on training pitch.
And with the players that you mentioned, we've also got Adam Phillips to throw into the mix as well, coming back. So it could even be more trickier trying to decide who should play where and how to continue with it. Don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Dean? Tell me. What do you think?
I think it's a real difficult one because in the ideal world you would probably have Phillips and Kelly, because they're the best two attacking midfield players that we've got. But Connor wants to play a double pivot with Bland and Connell. And if you do that, then you can't have two number 8s or whatever,
Phillips up right.
Well, and that doesn't work. Although I take your point that the best crosses come from Phillips, that's for sure. But I think if he was, I think to fit his attacking players in, I'm not sure that he can have two pivots. But then does that expose the defence more? But if we had Phillips and Kelly, we're likely to have much more of the ball than we would with only one of them playing. So I don't know. It's a conundrum I don't know the answer to, and I don't get the impression he's trying to please everybody. I think he's just trying to somehow shoehorn in the best players, and as Craig says, it doesn't work. And one or two are going to have to be disappointed, and will have to sit on the bench. Maybe it won't happen this week because Phillips might, would understandably start maybe from the bench because he's been out injured for 3 or 4 weeks. But beyond that, it's just a tough one. If you want to play two wingers and two pivots, you've only got so many options available. I don't think McGoldrick deserves a place at the moment in that. So you could maybe say, right, McGoldrick's going to be on the bench, and he's probably more likely to have an impact over 20, 25 minutes than he is over 90. So that might change things a little bit and reduce the options. But yeah, I mean, Nathan, he's another one. And what Connor likes about Nathan is his pace at pressing and getting after people, particularly their number 6s or pivots, or call them what you will. So there's another conundrum. So it'll be really interesting if they're all fit. That'll give us a real clue as to what he thinks his best team is on Saturday.
You've not mentioned Johnny Russell either. International Johnny Russell.
Sent off last night for Jamaica.
I think he might drop the internationals though because they've played. He'll want to play the players that haven't played. It'd not be my choice, but that's what I believe he would do.
Kelly only played 20 minutes though, didn't he?
I think he, like I say, he just wants to be friends with everybody. I think he's trying to be too nicey with the players. So he's like, oh, you haven't played in 2 weeks. You've not been abysmal this season. Let's say Nathan or whatever. You can come in. So, like I said, that's what I think.
That's interesting, Craig, because I think quite the opposite, really. I think Conor Horan's quite, or can be, or will be quite ruthless, rather than trying to please them all. I think he if they don't do what he wants, they don't play.
I don't know why McGoldrick's starting then, because I don't think he's done much in
He's
weeks.
well, he did in Totty Cup. He did score a hat-trick. So
I'm not impressed.
Against children.
Well, and other than DKD, there's nobody else to play in that position. So that's the other thing. I just think I know what you're saying.
Don't tell Josh that.
Well,
apparently Cleary can play up there. You've got Vickers that can play up there.
Well,
so
they probably can. They're not going to, are they? He's not. He don't see that, does he? So I just think that's the thing. I think for me, it's like saying, "Oh, McGoldrick shouldn't, whatever." But well, other than him and DKD, he won't play anybody else there. So that he hasn't got a lot of choice, as we've said.
No.
So
I personally don't think that David McGoldrick is a left-sided midfield player, attacking midfield player. For me, if he's going to play him and DKD, he should, for me anyway, he should be up front.
I agree.
McGoldrick as the sort of, I mean, he's not going to be a target man to get the ball to hold it up and lay it off because it's not working otherwise. If he's going to play attacking midfield, say on the left-hand side, then for me it's Kelly. Should be Kelly. If Adam Phillips is coming back, it should be Kelly, because I don't see that he offers enough in that position. I don't think it's right that he should be playing in that position.
Well, as far as Saturday's concerned, I would have thought that Kelly would have been. He must be as high as a kite, having got his first international call up, and he'll be full of confidence and liveliness, and you would always play somebody on that basis.
And the last game he played for us against Doncaster, he was outstanding.
Oh, he was the best player, yeah.
You know, unless he's come back with any form of knock, which hopefully he hasn't, then I just think he's got to start, personally.
Players that can get the ball in a tight position and get away from that tight position and drive forward with the ball are at a premium. And he's a player that we've been, I won't say fortunate, but it's really good that we've managed to sign him, because I think he's a young lad.
Yeah.
When we first bought him, I thought he was primarily more defensive than that, but he's actually a box crashing midfielder. He's an all round, he likes to take a shot, he likes to get up, and he's not scared of putting in the work, and that's what I like to see. I think Bland's a bit more conservative, a bit more industrious in defence. So I think them two are two of the brightest prospects in this league by far. And I think that them two, if we can keep them, which is you never know in football, will be the future of our midfield, because you've got one that can attack, one that can defend, and I think they're both fabulous. So, yeah.
Great.
If I were a defender, Cleary would frighten the life out of me if he gets the ball and starts running towards you, because he's tricky. You've just got to try and take it off him early, because if you don't, if he runs at you, he's going to get past you. He's strong as an ox, and I know
his confidence is rising too, though.
And I know what Josh is saying, that he can, because of the type of player he is, the build he has, he could play down the middle, but it's better on the wing, because isolate defenders or pull an extra defender over so that they double up on him. It pulls somebody from elsewhere on the pitch. So it's there's some good bits to look for, aren't there? We've got some good players coming through bit by bit, some really good players. So, and like you say, Yoga Nathan's another one in that. But it's going to be absolutely impossible to fit them all in. It doesn't surprise me that we're doing so much chopping and changing, particularly between different competitions, to give them all a game, to get them all fit, so when they're called upon, they can do it. But I still struggle with what the best team is going to be.
Like for like swapping for me is fine. If you
playing in positions, playing in the positions.
Phillips and Kelly, for me, you can swap them like for like. Vickers and Cleary, you can swap them like for like. But I just don't understand putting Watson at right back, then left back, and then you're putting Phillips through middle, and then you're putting him on right. And I don't know. I just think players are better when they get used to roles. That's all.
I think I absolutely agree, Craig. Play players in the position that they're most comfortable with, so that they're not having to think about what they've got to do. If you're playing straight down the middle, if you're Adam Phillips, as an example, if you're playing in the middle, you've got to think, right, where should I be? I'm in the middle. He knows where he's got to be as an attacking player, not wide on the right, but on the right. He knows what his role is there. He's not having to second guess it or anything like that. So players in the usual positions or the expected.
I think we've seen that this last sort of 10 days or week or whatever it is with England, and how Tuchel has started to put players in their positions that they're comfortable in, that they play for the clubs, whereas Southgate was guilty, and Lee Carsley even worse for a very short period of time, of trying to squeeze everybody in. And Tuchel's turned around and said, well, if you don't fit, you don't fit. And maybe, that's a very good example of, say, playing players in the positions that they're naturally comfortable with.
Yeah. Right, let's just have a slight change of tack. There's been lots of players played for both clubs, both Barnsley and Luton, particularly since 2000. So, because you don't know, I've done a little bit of work on this just so that I've got some idea. Just with you three. I mean, I don't know if you've been checking on your phone since I said it right at the start.
No.
I mean, I wanted to see Craig's hands at all times, but, I don't know if he's been shifty or whatever. So there's a load of players played for both clubs. So first and foremost, think of goalkeepers. Anybody, shout up a few goalkeepers.
Walton,
yes, played for both.
Isted.
Yeah. Isted, yeah.
Wildsmith?
Don't know about that one.
No.
Did Jake Finley play in the 80s or 90s?
80s.
oh wait, not that, mate. Come on.
I'm just saying, I can't think of any other goalkeepers. That's all.
Well, there was a goalkeeper that played for them in the 90s, I think, but also played for us since 2000, although not very much, and that was David Priest. So that's another one. And not for us for very long, but for both clubs since 2000. Ben Anick played for both clubs.
He seems to have played for everybody in.
Yeah. Was that his brother? There's two of them.
Well, that might be why then.
Dear. Defenders. What defenders?
Anderson.
Current or past?
Matty Pearson?
Mads Anderson. Matty Pearson. Yeah, Matty Pearson's another.
Martin Craney.
Yeah.
He's been checking. Martin Craney, go on.
James Bree.
Played for Huddersfield as well.
Absolutely, James Bree. And I can think of one other.
Alfie Mawson.
Brilliant, Craig. Absolutely brilliant. Now I know why you're on this show, Craig, because you've got such an amazing mind.
Because he can.
I'd have him back tomorrow, by the way. Him and Roberts were phenomenal.
Right, let's move into midfield. There's a few more in midfield. So if I move into midfield, what players have played?
I will just say there's one guy who I absolutely hate because he did this, but George Moncur, when he went to Luton and he stood up on that stage and he were like, oh, Barnsley, like this, because I think they were one place ahead of us.
Yeah.
That still sticks in my craw, that, to be fair.
Well, I've counted Georgie as an attacker, and he's probably the player that I'm most gutted about, because I saw him play at Oakwell for Colchester. He played all over the place. I think he played up front, then he moved back because they had a player sent off, and he was the best player on the pitch. And when we signed him, I thought, get ready. This is a guy that can control games. And then he didn't. So gutted for that. So I've counted him as attacker, but midfielders. Come on, let's have a few midfielders.
Luke Berry.
Jordan Clark. I mean, I'll say that, Jordan Clark. I'll hear that. Luke Berry. Yeah, Luke Berry's one.
Ryan Tunnicliffe.
Ryan Tunnicliffe, yeah, with him on loan.
Oh, nice one. Elliot Lee.
Got him as an attacker, but you didn't have that. There's a couple that surprised me.
Jacob Brown.
I've got him as an attacker.
Oh, sorry. Cameron McGeehan.
Cameron McGeehan.
I was thinking
I've said that about 3 times, Cameron McGeehan, and you're just ignoring me, so I'm going to take my bat and ball home in a minute.
Well, I don't think he can play against us on Saturday because he's got a 3-match ban. Who else? Anybody else? Midfield?
Jacob Butterfield, did he play for
Jacob Butterfield's one.
Yeah.
Craig, you've amazed me, Craig. Amazing.
That's good.
I've got whatever. I've got how many more? Two more. One which I'd be surprised if you got. Well, I was actually surprised about them both, if I'm honest. The player that we got from Hull, played in midfield, a sort of hard tackling defensive midfield player we got from Hull.
Nathan Doyle.
Nathan Doyle. He played for them. And one that I am gobsmacked that I did know, and he played for Luton after us. I'm gobsmacked. He's now running a coaching academy in Ireland, if that gives you any sort of.
Paddy McCourt?
He's retired. I'll probably not know him.
Paddy McCourt.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah. Paddy McCourt, who I know people have talked about Reyes Cleary's goal. Is it better? Is it worse? You know, is it as good? Is it better than the goal? It's Darren Barnard's goal, and it's always, is it that one? Is it that one? Myself, I liked Paddy McCourt's goal at Oakwell against Middlesbrough. I think that is possibly the best ever Barnsley goal, but obviously people disagree with that.
Unbelievable.
Up front, loads up front. You name some in midfield, but
Carlton Morris,
big
man.
I think we still miss him. I think they miss him.
Yeah,
I mean, they've come tumbling down the leagues, haven't they, to be in the lofty position of 2 points above us. So yeah, him.
Paulie Woodrow, we've already mentioned him.
Woodrow, yeah. We've mentioned Jacob Brown. We mentioned Elliot Lee. Anybody else? Plays for Bolton currently.
McAtee.
John McAtee played for him.
Yeah.
Joe Moncur.
Yeah.
George Moncur, sorry, Elliot Lee, yeah. Couple of older ones, I think. Mentioned Jacob Brown. Marlon Beresford played for him.
Really?
Yeah, which surprised me. He did our great escape against Huddersfield. Part of that.
I've just thought of a centre back. Rob Edwards, didn't he play for him?
Rob Edwards played for him, yeah. I didn't get him down on my list.
But he was their manager, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah.
We've
got actually a lot of connections with Luton, to be fair to say. They're
huge,
And
it's been more one way than the other, I have to say.
Definitely. I thought we were their feeder club for a while.
Well, if it'd been a few years
ago, don't let him look at Bland. If he looks at Bland sideways, I'm coming out at crowd. You know,
a couple of seasons ago, this match would have been Barnsley against Barnsley 2. Wasn't it? You know, maybe it's two others that I can think of. I couldn't think of them. I checked. I didn't think of it.
Are we talking from 2000s? Because I remember in the early days when I first started watching, there was a player that I loved called David Geddes, and I'm sure he'd played for Luton, but that'll be way before then.
Kevin Gallen played for both clubs.
Yeah.
Gary McSwiggan played for both clubs. Kevin Gallen. But there are a couple, well, 3 players that played before 2000, and I'm only going to bring them up because they became Barnsley stalwarts and Barnsley legends in their own way. So, you know, there was Steve Davis, he played for both clubs. Wayne Biggins, that's one for me and Dean.
Yeah.
Wayne Biggins and Paul Wilkinson. Now then.
I know that. I did not.
I didn't. No. I didn't. And if it's wrong, it's Google that's wrong. Dr. Google's wrong, not me. I was born in
'90, so you know my memory would have to be brilliant.
No need for that, Craig. No need.
No.
I mean, that were particularly for Dean. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, I still go back to Jake Findlay, keeper.
Oh.
Jake Findlay. He was a good goalkeeper. He came on loan, I think.
Well, how long are we talking ago here, Dean?
Is this before or after Second World War?
Well, my father even born. Remind me.
Move on.
You see, he's got
before me. 70.
Move on.
You see, my grandkids always said to me, Tracy, what were it like watching Barnsley win FA Cup? Because I think they think, you know, that I'm of that age. Nadine's got me thinking.
Did we
go to Bramall Lane to see us win it? I'm not sure.
What was it like, Andy, Dean? Was it any good seeing us win the FA Cup? Or?
I couldn't tell us apart because both teams were in black and white, so I couldn't tell them apart. They all look the same. Not. No, I don't know. I don't know. Right. Well done. You've amazed me. I'll tell you what. The three of you have done much better than Josh would do, and a lot better
Oh,
than Joe Beardsall. A lot better than both of them too.
It helped because it was quite recent, you know. If it had been a bit longer than Ireland than not.
Last 25 years though, Craig. It's not.
yeah. And when you were
My
only
era, though,
five,
Yeah. No, that's not bad, Craig. Right. Let's move on. Let's start talking about predictions. Oh dear. Let's go for predictions. Because I want to try and end on a more positive note. I'll go to Craig first. Craig,
I know
what's
we're
your
coming.
prediction?
Yeah, I'm not going to drag it out. I'm just.
You've dragged it out for the last half hour, Craig.
Expect the
Stop
worst,
now.
but hope for the best. You know, I think we're going to lose 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
But I'll not be surprised if we win.
I'll not be surprised if we win 3-1 either. Or if we draw 3-all. I'll not be surprised. But 3-1, Craig. You can only say what you think, Craig. And you know, that's based on what we've been seeing, it's not bad. Dino, what do you think?
I think there'll be goals in this one, and I think we'll win 3-2. 3-2 win for the Reds.
3-2. 3-2. They haven't conceded many goals, you know them. Not conceded many goals. 3-2. Well, there you go. Tracy, before I say my
they've not conceded many goals, but they've not come across our wonderful attack, have they?
Which ones?
Well,
we've got a few.
We've got to win. We've got a loss, so it's quite right that I go for a 2-2 draw.
A Desmond. Do you know? I'm going to look through past things. I think you've gone for draws an awful lot of the time. I'm going to check, so I can check these things.
Says the man who only ever predicts 2-1.
Yeah.
No. Well,
at least he goes for one though. He goes for a team. You don't just stay middle, stay neutral.
Says Mister, we're going to lose, but we could draw and we might win, and I won't be surprised.
Just Tracy, I'm going to check. Just watch for the splinters, Tracy. It could be painful for you. Just watch for that. I'm just going to tell you this.
Craig are fighting for that top position. That's all I'm going to say.
That's why she keeps having a pop at me then.
I'll talk about that.
Absolutely.
Before I give my prediction,
hey, Mia's right behind us.
I know.
She's 1 point behind.
And I'm personally not doing very well.
She keeps asking me, what have you put, Dad? I'm like, I'm not telling you what I've put. And obviously, because I just keep telling her, look, you've got to have your own prediction, you've got to do your own research and come up with your own outcome. So all these results are based on her own back. Yeah. You know, so
it's Mia that got me to pull my finger out and put the table scale. I've got the stuff there, but it's getting it all together because you can be doing it umpteen times where we're playing, umpteen times a flipping week.
Yeah.
You know, I can't keep
bragging rights in this house though.
I know, so I'm going to try and do it more regularly, but I can't do it every single. If I do it after every game, it's just becomes a bit of a nonsense. But let's say this because it's tough at the top, and there's a number of players that aren't that people that's not that far behind. You know, I'm like six points behind, so it's not that good. But on 16 points at the top of the table, we've got Michael Brewer, who's been there for a bit, and Keith Jacks, a point behind, just the 1 point behind. So 3-1 defeat, 2-all. Oh, could happen. 15 points, point behind. Alex Billington, come on, Alex, you can do it. I hope Alex predicts us a win. If he don't, then I hope he don't go to the top. But if he predicts a win, go on, Alex. But he's there in second. Well, I suppose third, really, because the other two are top two. But on 15 points with Craig Wood and Tracy Martin. So we're in exalted company, me and you, Dean. Exalted company.
And I started so well.
You've dropped like a stone, Dean. Like a stone.
A bit like the club, actually.
If it makes you feel any better, I started like a stone and continue to drop like one. So I won't worry too.
You just picked up momentum.
I did pick up 3 points against Donny with me 2-1. I did do that. I did get that. 2 points behind top. So on 14 points, we've got Russell Frost. Come on, Russell. We've also got. I can't get my head around this. I'm gobsmacked at this. Josh Atherton. Josh
Good
Atherton,
Lord.
14 points. 14 points. And two of the youngest, we've got Mia Wood on 14 points. It's just a come on, Mia. Just a point behind her dad. And Noah Simcox, who's a fair bit in front of his granddad. So
she did actually celebrate when she saw she was beating Noah, to be fair. So there's a competition there between these two.
It's a point. It's a point. Mia, don't get too giddy. Mia, it's a point. It's just a point. I won't. There is a way, Mia, of staying above Noah for the rest of the season. Just predict what he predicts, and I've done, and then he'll not catch you. So there's a fair bit to go. What I would say is on 13 points before bust all your bubbles. Alan Smith's on that. He predicts 3-1 every week because that's what he asked me to do, and he's on 13 points. So he's doing well in his absence. So and the rest of us are behind him. So I'm not going to say where me and you are, Dean, but it's fair to say, Dean, we're not as impressive as we could be.
No.
So the old.
How many sheets are you down?
Not that far. Old heads aren't always the best heads. I'll tell you that much. But we get confused. So having said all that, I'm going to predict a 2-1 to Barnsley because it's going to happen. It happened the last time I predicted it in a league match, and it's going to happen this time. Not only are we going to win 2-1, we're going to go above Luton. We'll get a point above Luton by winning 2-1. Mads Anderson score an own goal. He'll forget which team he's playing for and score an own goal. And maybe Jacob will come on and rise like a salmon defending a corner and head it into his own goal. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, it could happen. So there you have it. So Craig's gone 3-1 defeat. Dean's gone 3-2 win. Tracy has gone a splintery Desmond 2-2. And I've gone 2-1.
A predictable 2-1.
I tell you, beforehand, the only time I didn't predict 2-1 was flaming 1-2-1. And I'm scared. Mind you, I could do it, couldn't I? Could predict something else and we'll win 2-1. I could do that. But,
reverse psychology, yeah? Do it.
Well, no, I'll do it next. I'll do it at Stockport, maybe. Maybe I'll do that. Because that's a delight to come. So, get your predictions down below. Get your information down below. You think about who the best team is, who should be playing, how we should play, and all that. If you can think of any other players that's played for both Barnsley or Luton that we haven't mentioned, I'll be gobsmacked, but get them down below and do all your best. And we're going to finish off with it's again, like I often do with the away end, a tribute to our dear friend Alan Smith. But this is with a difference, because about a month ago, I thought he were a friend of the show, but I'm not so sure. Tony Baker, who famously does dad's jokes not on YouTube, on Facebook, and he really needs to get out with that. He often does memes about Redallover. Well, about a month or so ago, maybe a bit longer, he did a meme of every single one of us as Simpsons characters. So, strap your sens in, because we're going to finish this, instead of being Andy Simcox, Tracy Martin, Craig Wood and Dean Pudfat, it's going to be Andy Simpson, Tracy Simpson, Craig Simpson and Dean Simpson. Enjoy the ending. Come on, you Reds. Let's be having that. Kenneth Wolstenholme said in 1966, there are some people on the pitch, they think he's red all over. It is now.